Welcome to Conscious Dominance, a DSRX studio production. These weekly conversations explore how to approach mindful leadership and inner dominance within the powerful container of committed, intentional relationships. Join Eric as he invites new dialogues, sharing practical insights for how the craft of consciousness opens the aperture to love, serve, and connect with unwavering presence.
Welcome to Conscious Dominance. This is Eric. When women are asked about their favorite 3 words, many people assume it's, I love you. But for many women I know, for Rachel, what she truly longs to hear is, I got you. This episode builds directly on last week's exploration of hosting. We're going to dive deeper into the practical aspects of how conscious masculine leadership, or conscious dominance, creates the surrender through competence, anticipation, and genuine support. The challenge facing modern relationships is clear. Despite research showing higher happiness levels overall for married couples, there's a striking gender disparity. Men benefit significantly more from marriage and long-term relationships than women do. Unmarried men tend to be among the most depressed demographic, while married women often experience higher levels of stress and burnout compared to their single counterparts. What gives? Why is there this imbalance? Women today carry an overwhelming invisible burden. Women shoulder disproportionate responsibility for household management, for social planning, for emotional labor, for anticipating family needs. This creates a situation where women work the equivalent of an extra month compared to their male counterparts every year. For the masculine leaders listening and the women seeking these partners, understanding this imbalance is crucial to creating relationships where both people thrive. Today, I'm going to show you how mastering the art of I got you can transform your relationship by alleviating the burden and creating space for genuine surrender. There's 2 faces of I got you. There's a crucial difference between genuine support and ego-driven control. Women crave spaces where they can fully surrender, but this requires a rare quality in a man. It's a man that's able to hold her both materially and energetically, both in the present moment and in the future moment. The genuine I got you comes from a place of humble competence. It's an awareness of the invisible burdens that women carry, the emotional, mental, and logistical responsibilities that often go unnoticed. These aren't burdens women choose to carry. They're instinctive concerns driven by a primal need for stability. In contrast, the ego-driven I got you masks incompetence with overconfidence. It's taking over without understanding. It's promising without delivering. It's becoming defensive when receiving feedback. And worse yet, there's men that don't even attempt this, that don't even try. So we have the ego-driven I got you, and then we have the men, many men, who just are like, fuck it. I'll call it the fuck it guys. For women to surrender, they need to trust that you truly got them. Not just in words, but through consistent action and energetic anticipation. One of the key concepts that I want to introduce is an idea of anticipation versus reaction. There's a fundamental difference between anticipating needs versus merely reacting to them. When you anticipate, you're thinking ahead. You're considering holidays, birthdays, work stress, travel plans, even her menstrual cycle. You're considering her friends, her social network, her physical well-being. This forethought demonstrates that you're paying attention and you're taking responsibility. Reaction is often displayed as an improvisational tactic. This is something that I have often done. This can be great. It can be cute. It can be endearing, but it will not give her the sense that she feels like you have her. While appreciated, it does not create the same sense of safety in her body. This does not allow for the deep surrender that comes when a woman knows you're attentive to what's coming. Think of it like effective leadership in any context. A good leader has awareness of everything that needs to be done and is anticipating it, thinking in the future. It puts the right people in the right place. And it creates an environment where everyone can thrive. How can you provide that same leadership for your woman where she can thrive and you can truly say, I got you? One particular place that you can start focusing on is mastering transitions. Women experience disproportionate stress during transitions. These in-between moments when we're shifting from one activity or location to another. There are many memes and tropes of the women always being late, of the men waiting for her. This is the mark of a couple where the woman is not being held by her man. There is an opportunity here for you to be able to hold her in this. There's an opportunity to demonstrate that I got you through clear structure and clear support. For example, in my relationship with Rachel, we travel frequently. Our roles during these transitions are clearly defined. She handles check-in at the front desk, while I manage all of our luggage and any material needs and parking. While leaving, she only needs to handle her purse. I handle everything else. These expectations are pre-decided. We don't need to negotiate each time. This is I got you in action. I've also learned to build in buffer time for all transitions, literally scheduling more time than needed, so there's never a sense of rushing. This prevents the emotional blowouts that come with time pressure. To the feminine, there is no surrender when she feels pressure with time. If we're going on a date, I ensure the pre-date experience is just as relaxing as the date itself. When we recently moved, I took responsibility for overseeing the entire process. Before leaving our old home, we made time for a moment of closure. Another crucial transition managed with care. In many respects, I take care of the material aspects of our life. If there's something broken, I fix it. If there's something that needs to be replaced, I replace it. We're still in the process of me working through her clothes and our food and all of the rest. But we are moving towards a process where I truly have her in every regard. There are warning signs of the false I got you. You're demonstrating an ego incompetent approach when you offer solutions without understanding the full context of the situation. You have to realize that women see the field, the context. Women are a floodlight. Men, we are a spotlight. We are very good at focusing on one thing. Women are very good at seeing the whole. Competent, awesome leadership is someone who can do both. I've done many construction jobs, and what's necessary for construction or for cooking is a concept called mise en place. Mise en place, I actually have tattooed on my arm. It's been a very helpful concept for me. And it also applies for this phrase, I got you. And what it essentially means is that in any job, there is preparation. Mise en place means it's French for everything in its right place, and it's used in the cooking world. And I apply it as an ethic in everything that I do. And that is that there is a part of a job that is the preparation for the job. So there's the mise en place concept that I want to introduce. I also want to show that even me, who's dedicated my life to holding Rachel and to leading her through this, also falls short often. And I want to give an example of where I fall short, because though I was right in what I was doing, I did not do the mise en place. I did not set up the situation for success. Recently, she has not been feeling well. I have been tending and caring for her. And in so doing, I took it upon myself to take all of her supplements and body support and lay them on a table for us to go through and organize, completely misreading the moment and misreading the time, misreading her energy level. And it created a situation where she just became frustrated and she was very upset. And I had to work through my own reactivity in that moment of being like, well, hey, I'm trying, I'm working on this. And I think this goes back to this idea that I've spoken about before. You have to be willing to be the fool. You have to be willing to make the mistake and then learn from it. Proactivity is better than no activity. So it's better to make the move than to give up and not try anything. But what's far better is to make the move at the right time and in the right situation. And so when you think about mise en place, it's not only just everything, all of your stuff in order, it's also that the time is in order, that the context is right, that the time allotted for it is correct. And that's a very important part of I got you. It's another way of saying foreplay. Mise en place is foreplay for a project. It's also really important in these situations that we're not taking over and that we don't confuse taking over with holding space. So in that example that I gave, I could have easily been like, no, we're doing this now. This is the time we're going to do it. And just plowed through her energy, her situation, her health needs, the context. And she would have surrendered to me. If I would have been insistent, she would have done it. But it would have broke some trust, and it would not have been a full-bodied surrender. This is where it's very important for me to be able to read her energetically and read the situation. Is this resistance that's grounded in me lacking situational awareness and situational context, or is this a resistance that I can move through? Another example of a warning sign of a false I got you is when we as men make promises or speak about doing something and we don't follow through. This is a trope for men, but it matters. In the feminine, it's almost endearing when I hear her say she's going to do something and doesn't do it. It doesn't bother me at all. To a woman, when I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it or I don't follow through, it's just a little notch. It's like a decay. It's just something that keeps her from surrendering. It keeps her from feeling held. And this is where it's important to be meticulous with our words and with our promises. And more important than any of these things, probably the most important thing for all of us as men that are attempting to be in our leadership is that we encourage her to give us feedback. This is a dynamic endeavor. This is not a closed system. This is not me with absolute authority and I'm not getting feedback from her. What's paramount is that I get feedback from her. And what's paramount is I have to be able to hold myself and hold her and not get defensive and not get reactive. There's a spectrum on this. You may not punch a wall, yell, or scream, but she may feel your energy vacate. Even that is going to keep her from expressing. This is where you need to work on your internal energy and your capacity to really hold yourself and not be reactive, even energetically. This is a process. This is a job. This is the work right here. There is this period, though, that's going to be uncomfortable for both of you. There is a training period. There is going to be a period that's going to create more stress, especially if everything's been the other way, where the woman's doing everything and where the woman is not expressing, where she's not sharing her words, and where he's getting expressive. There is a period of time. There is a transitionary period. We actually went through a period. We're still going through very much a transitionary period because it is a complete shift in the paradigm. It is not easy. The man needs to learn how to properly take care of the woman. And in order to do this, he needs feedback. And he needs to be able to hold himself energetically to receive that feedback so that she can continue to express her needs and share. This brings me to the art of attunement. Most men don't know how to read the room, don't know how to interpret energy. In the last episode, I spoke about the Japanese. It's a culture that's excellent. The onus is on the listener. The onus is on the nonverbal communication. The onus is on the energy in the room. We all know and we can feel when someone walks in and they're very upset, or a dynamic between two people that are in love. If you're attuned, you can feel it. Your woman is constantly in a different state of emotions. It's your job to be attuned to where she's at. Sometimes, though, we're going to misinterpret this. You have to not take it as rejection when you misinterpret her energy. Don't take her stress as rejection. Just yesterday, she was in a stressed position. She was giving me feedback. I took it as a rejection. Her energy felt like a rejection, like she didn't want me to do anything to do with it. And I complied. I folded. I left. I didn't lean in. Do not take her tension as a signal to stay away when she really needs your support. The art of this is the art of attunement. Attunement requires deep listening. Understand the context of the situation. Recognize where she is in her cycle. Know the full ramifications of whatever the issue is that you're dealing with, what she's dealing with. Sometimes it means stepping in decisively. Other times it means quieting myself, getting smaller energetically. It means doing nothing. It means listening. This is not a science. It's an art that requires sensitivity to her nervous system. And this is where you as a man must become aware of your nervous system. You must know what triggers you. You must know your reactivity. This is where you must do your work. Do your inner work. Don't leave your unconscious reactivity all over the room. That's like leaving your shit all over the room. She's going to feel it. What holds relationships back from power dynamic more than anything else is the man's reactivity, is the man's energetic incompetence. Women, feel your energy. Learn about how to hold yourself through her voice. If you cannot be reactive when she's using her voice, you got her. I still struggle with this. Every one of you is going to struggle with these. That's the point. That's the work. That's the opportunity. It will get harder because guess what? She's going to be using her voice more. She's going to be expressing more. She's going to feel more. She's going to get more aroused. She's going to get more upset. Can you be present with all of it without trying to fix it? Can you join her? Can you join and lead? Another way of saying it that I've heard from parenting, can I connect before I correct. I may never need to correct. I may never need to fix, but I will always need to be attuned to her. I will always need to connect. The fixing is not only secondary, it's third, fourth, fifth, sixth, because often there is no need to fix. The structure comes from her nervous system to feel safe with you. It's called co-regulation. This is what animals need from each other. They need to feel co-regulated. When it comes down to it, the I got you is I got structure for you. I got safety for you. Women want to feel safe through your structure. This encompasses everything. This is not for the light of heart. If you're looking to just chill out, if you're looking to watch sports for 4 hours every night, if you're looking to play video games all the time, don't listen to me anymore. Go play it. Stop listening. Because this is work. This is hard work. Because you need to figure out how you manage your time. Your personal ethics matter. Your integrity matters. Your behavior when you're not with her matters. How you protect her in public space matters. How you walk down the street matters. Are you situationally aware to provide safety for her at all times? When you go to restaurants, do you take care of the practical things like reservations? Do you make sure that the lighting and the mood and the energy is appropriate so she can relax and she can feel surrendered? It's important that you manage finances. It's important that you provide clarity and leadership. Another powerful way to provide structure is through rituals. Rituals are our soulful structure. Rachel and I have a morning ritual. We have a full moon ritual. We have a new moon ritual. We have even ritualized our approach to transitions. We have rituals around lovemaking. I'm clear. I'm intentional. It becomes something that she can feel. There is a ritual every single meal that we have. She knows what she's doing. I know what I'm doing. She's doing less. She's surrendered. I create space. I create the setting. I make sure the time is right. I make sure we know what time we're doing it and what the evening holds. This brings me to this idea of anticipation. Most men struggle with anticipation because they don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to put in the work to see the full context of a situation. We have to be like farmers and gardeners or investors. You have to know what's coming. Be aware of the field. Great athletes do this. Great warriors do this. Great businessmen do this. Great lovers do this. You anticipate before you participate. To truly get it, you need to develop your capacity to read the field just as well as your woman does. You probably will never get it just as good, but you have a great capacity and an edge up because most of what you're dealing with in the home and in life does not scare you. You have access to more of your brain when you're not afraid. This means that you can, even though you may struggle now, men, you can get good at this. Notice the patterns, read the body language, understand the specific tendencies. Small gestures matter. Small gestures matter that are thoughtful, that show that you've been thinking about her. If I can sense that she's uncomfortable and I can anticipate her need, it matters. It helps her to feel that support. Another part of this is, can you do all this without needing recognition? Can you do all of this without needing to be told, good job? Can you just do your job? As Bill Belichick says, do your job. Your job is to anticipate and to provide and to create a situation where surrendered. If you want a surrendered, submissive woman, you need a woman who feels like you got her. And it doesn't mean you have to do all the work. You can hire it out. She can do some of it, but she needs to know that you know what she needs to have done. and this is a work in progress. Many of you listening may understand this concept of aftercare. Aftercare is a term that is used in the BDSM community for whenever there is a scene. After the scene is the idea that you care for your submissive. You care for her in a manner where she feels like she can come back to herself, come back to her body, come back and integrate. What's necessary for you to realize is that, as I talked about the mise en place and the preparing, aftercare is just as important. It's going into a situation and then coming out of a situation. The mise en place is the aftercare. Many a man has had a woman in a surrendered or sexual state on a weekend or in a one-night situation, or you've created in the first couple months of your life with her, you have all this great passion and all this stuff. Why does that fizzle out? People have all kinds of theories why it fizzles out. One of the main reasons why it fizzles out is because women come back to their life, and women come back to the overwhelm, and women come back, and as soon as you are in her life, you become a part of her overwhelm. You become the stress. And if you are not holding up your end, at the very least, or if you are not showing up in any type of leadership, you become a place of stress for her. This is why relationships that are long-term don't have the juice. In order for you to provide the juice, you have to realize that you're going to create times for her to split open and feel good about herself and be in a really emotionally vulnerable place as you do this work. You're going to hold her. There's going to be more passion sexually. There's going to be more experiences beyond your wildest dreams. But if you want them to continue and to be sustainable, it's also really important that you take care of aftercare. It's the integration after the vulnerable moment. This integration is something that's necessary where our heart opens up to an extreme degree. Any time of connecting, any type of grieving, this integration is where you can be in a space of connection post-event. What's interesting is you could even have a traumatic event, and if you're able to be there for her and hold her and co-regulate her right after that event, that trauma won't get nestled in her body. The event doesn't cause trauma. What causes trauma is what happens in our body after the event. And if we didn't have somebody in our life who could hold us and love us after that, then the trauma gets lodged in. We have a capacity to do that for her, to actually heal her nervous system, to actually heal her by providing intense experiences where afterward we can anticipate her needs of vulnerability. We can anticipate a need for water, whatever supports her body and her nervous system, the temperature, all of these things, the mood, all of this, to hold her in that space. This is the path of growth. The beauty of long-term relationships is that you get to practice this every day. You're committed to the process. Rachel and I have committed to this process. It's a practice. It's a collaborative practice. It is me in my masculine, the testosterone. I love a project. I love a task. I love something that I can do and get done and feel like I did it well. To the feminine, that's not necessarily what gets her off. There's a great thing that early off in my relationship with Rachel, I noticed her doing a lot of things. And I noticed that she was very competent at a lot of things. And I assumed that because she was so competent at them, that she enjoyed doing them. And so I was just watching her and I was like, there was something that came up and she was overwhelmed and tired. And I was just letting her do the stuff. And it was revelatory to me that she didn't enjoy doing everything that she was doing. Because as a man, if I'm competent at something and I have the time to do it and I want to do it, I get something from it. I get testosterone from that. To a woman, to the feminine, to her hormones, she doesn't necessarily want more testosterone. What women need is estrogen, is oxytocin. Most women don't need especially nowadays, more testosterone. And so they need to feel like you've got her. You want her in a feminine, energetic space. She needs to do less. She needs to be more. She needs to be in her body more. Why do women love being at a spa or at a hotel or at a restaurant where she's being taken care of? It's because she's being considered. Because that space, those people, when they do it well, they got her. You want a surrendered woman? You need to get her. And it's not just her in that moment. It's her before. It's her after. It's her in the context that she lives in. It's you becoming aware of the full contextual awareness of her life, of her field, and taking responsibility for all of it. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to do all of it, but you need to become aware of it. The beauty of long-term relationships is you get to practice this. I haven't always done this well. I've been reactive. I've been disorganized. I've dropped the ball countless times. There's a learning curve where the incompetence gets called out. You've got to be able to be called out without reacting. Most relationships can't handle this stage. How you respond when she points something out makes all the difference for her to continue to be able to give you feedback and you to be able to take responsibility. Can you hear her feedback and take it as love? Can you hear her feedback and not get defensive? Can you hold her in that moment and simply commit to doing better internally? Even when you've dropped the ball, if you can hold her in that, things can start happening right after some big mistake. Connection can deepen in these moments. It doesn't always have to be a sexual thing, but she will feel more connected to you. Your work with her becomes truly collaborative. The connection comes through her capacity to have a voice, her capacity to feel the full range of her expression. You want a completely surrendered sexual woman? You need to be able to hold her even when she's ill, when she's sad, when she's grieving, when she's confused, when she's overwhelmed. Hold her in the full range of her expression. Otherwise, whoever can hold her has got her. And whoever's got her is where she's going to be fully surrendered. Sometimes I know what's best for Rachel, despite her initial resistance. But sometimes I'm wrong. And it's my capacity to every day learn, every day grow, every day be committed to my growth mindset in this regard, to take full ownership, to take full responsibility without taking over. Remember, it's not a place of ego that's hiding incompetence. It's a place of humility. You can never get to competence without being humble, because you have to admit you don't know. You don't know her field. It's impossible for you to know her and all of what's going on with her. First of all, she doesn't even know it all most of the time, but she's far more aware of it than you are. The work is never finished. Each day offers new opportunities to move past defensiveness, to get into a place of presence. And when you can hold that presence consistently and continually, something magical happens. When you say, I got you, she starts crying. When she can finally start surrendering, more often than not, when she can finally start trusting you, then you've got a 24/7 situation going on. Then you've got conscious dominance and submission. But it only comes through competence and humility that truly embodies the I got you. And remember, conscious dominance is not conscious control. Conscious dominance is conscious attunement and conscious loving. So thank you. And if you didn't check out last week's episode on hosting, I recommend it as essential listening, because in order to have her, you got to host her. These two concepts, hosting and I got you, are two sides of the same coin of conscious dominance. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being and doing your best on this journey.